Hi there, I'm Una. Welcome to my channel. I apologise if my voice is a bit off, I have a cold. I hope you'll stay for this video while I show you how I made this card from the Mama Elephant set, the Penguin's Waddle. Do give it a thumbs up if you do enjoy it. This is the stamp, it's a very large image. I put it into my stamping platform. I list all my supplies down below if you're interested in knowing what anything is. I use Memento Tuxedo Black ink because I can colour with my alcohol markers when I stamp the image with that ink. I'm pressing really well, but I did end up actually having to ink it up 5 times and stamp it 5 times to get a good enough image, probably because it's a brand new stamp. But it's really lovely, adorable. These are 2 Spellbinders dies and I have them taped together so that I'll be able to cut out a frame with them. I'm cutting it out of gold glitter paper. Now this doesn't cut terribly well. No matter how many times you pass it through the die cutting machine, it never cuts properly. And so I use the pin in my pokey tool to just score along the edges of the circles. And then that helps me to get it out really easily. And so the frame is ready for my project. I decide what portion of the stamp I want to use, and I used low tack tape to adhere the die to the paper and take it away to my die cutting machine, cut it out, and just testing there that it fits properly. The sentiment is from Oh Joy Halo script set from Mama Elephant, and I cut the halo out of red cardstock and the Oh Joy out of the same glitter paper as the frame. I like to separate these words. I adhere them with high tack, fast tack glue in a Gina K bottle because I like that applicator. The O, I've no problem at all positioning the O. The Joy takes a little bit of work, tease it into place. Add the tiddle on the J, and the sentiment is ready. I love this embossing folder. I bought it last year in the Netherlands, cheap as chips, just over €1 it cost me, and I loved the embossed effect. I used it on nearly all my Christmas cards last year. And I'm just checking out the design, and I'm quite happy to go with that. The embellishments for my card I got from different sets. That's a Cottage Cutz holly die, and I cut out a little piece of it to use today using my Spectrum Noir jade green number 2. I colour the holly and the berries. I colour red, of course, and I use my scissors just to snip off the bits of the holly that I will use as decoration. I set that aside. The Santa hats I got from the old Puppy Tree set, and the wreath and the candy cane. So I stamped them with Tuxedo Black. And because I'm doing no special colouring, I let you see the Santa. I'm starting the Santa hat here, but I fast forward through the rest of the colouring because, like I say, it's nothing special. The images are so small, I didn't bother with any highlights or shadows. And then I used my scissors to fussy cut those out. Now, I didn't actually end up using what I stamped earlier because when I was colouring it, the inks actually bled on me. So I decided I'd start again, and this time I would heat emboss, and I'd use Versafine Black Onyx ink. It's a sticky ink, and it will take clear embossing powder. So I decided to ink with it, and by doing so, it will help me to control the colour. It will contain the inks for me. Using my anti-static powder bag there to make sure that the clear embossing powder doesn't stick absolutely everywhere. And so I ink it up with the Versafine Black Onyx, add embossing powder, and then heat it up with my heat tool. And when it's black and raised and shiny, I tilt it in the light to make sure it's completely done. The markers are Spectrum Noir markers again. I use 3 greys, IG 6, 10, 6, 8 and 10. And I start with the darkest one. I'm fast forwarding through the colouring again because I'm doing nothing special. I just start with the dark marker and I apply it to parts of the penguins, and then I apply the number 6 excuse me, to the areas I left blank for shadows. And then I come in with the number 8 and I blend the 10 and the 6 together. It just adds a bit of dimension to the image. I use an orange OR2 to colour the beaks. Because this is such a tiny detail, I decide to use just one colour. When that's finished, I start to colour all the little details on the penguins. First of all, I decide to add some dimension to the penguins' bodies by using a blue-grey number 1, BGR1. And then the little details. And because I'm adhering Christmas embellishments, at this stage I'm able to apply the frame. Again, using the high-tack, fast-tack glue out of the Gina K bottle. I get time for wriggle room to make sure that the frame fits properly. And just going around all the edges to make sure that it's correctly in place. And then I start playing around with the embellishments to see where I'll put them. Now, it was at this stage that I discovered that my camera turned itself off. I thought I had recorded right to the end of the card, but actually my camera turned itself off and I kept working away thinking it was recording. So here's the finished card. I adhered all the bits you saw me making, applied the embellishments, the holly to the head of one of the penguins and the candy cane wreath and hats. I positioned them around the card where I thought they looked nice. I'm adding sparkle to the card with my Spectrum Noir sparkle pen. I rubbed off the tip there because sometimes the sparkle ink can reactivate colours, and I didn't want a pink trim on my hats, on my Santa hats. I think you can see the glittery finish there in the light. This is the one that I decided not to use in this video, but although the colours bled, it was still good enough to keep and use for another card. I used the whole stamp on a 5x7 card with this one, and I love that greeting, "Oh So Merry." I made it from green card offset on black. So back to the card that featured in this video. I do so hope you enjoyed watching this video and that you'll come back to Una's Crafty Cards. If you did enjoy it, please give the video a thumbs up. It's really important for my channel that I get as many likes as possible, or I just won't feature in the videos that YouTube suggests that people watch. Thank you so much for being with me today. All the best for now. Bye.